Welcome again, Gemini. July 2014, time flies when you're having fun. And it looks like this month you are going to be having a little bit of fun. I'm Dadhichi from astrology.com.au. Just having a look, a brief synopsis at your horoscope. What I've noticed is a bizarre combination of Mars and the North Node, or what we call Rahu, in your fifth house. Fifth house, firstly, is a sector of future karma, with the karmic planet there. And Mars, of course, in that area, stimulating your love interest. So, to say the least, you may find yourself attracting some rather unusual characters at this juncture in your life. Now, these are karmic relationships. Not that all relationships aren't karmic, but these ones could be particularly, I suppose, important. They can stand out from the crowd. These can be situations where you meet people that you swear you've known before. It's almost like the masks come down immediately on meeting them, and it's like a revival or a continuance of some previous connection that you've had with them. You should enjoy that, but be warned, you may also meet people that are going to lead you into some very unusual activities. These could be hobbies or even physical and bedroom activities that you might not otherwise have entertained prior to this. But again, this is all karmic. And we see you're more likely to move forward on this because your ruling planet Mercury is moving stationary direct on the 1st of July. Other important aspects that we see there are the Venus and Uranus aspect on the 7th, again stimulating that somewhat bizarre connection with people, a desire to break the limits of what you normally consider the type of relationship you would have. In other words, there's an element of unconventionality, progressiveness around what you're doing. Be careful of that, especially around the 9th, leading up to the 9th. The Sun is in the hard aspect to Uranus, and with Sun in the favourable aspect to Saturn simultaneously, there could be some sense of responsibility that weighs heavily, and thereafter some guilt that might weigh heavily upon your head. Look, this is all part of the learning process, you know. I say to people, you should never be afraid to make mistakes. Mistakes are part of the growth process here. And speaking of growth and learning, Mercury moving into the second sector of your horoscope on the 13th shows some lessons, some new activities in your financial arena. And Mercury is a very fast planet, so this can give quick turnover of profits, quick turnover of income, but just as quickly spending that could be a problem too. We see the triangular aspect of Venus to Mars. Again, that Mars being in the 5th house shows that there's some speculative energies surrounding your relationships, a desire to try something you haven't tried before. On that financial note, you may want to take a gamble this month on something. It is also very, very good for creative activities, and not well known to Western astrologers is the fact that this 5th sector is a sector of spiritual initiation. So what we see here is your ability to somehow connect with even the most mundane objects in your universe at this time, but to see a lot more meaning, to make a lot more sense of those experiences. Education over the next 12 months is going to be very, very important for you. Travels, mainly short travels, and I say that because of the significant transit of Jupiter to this 3rd sector on the 16th. Now, you're going to have the money to do that too, it appears, because Venus on the 19th moves to your finance sector, and Mercury creating a favourable aspect to Neptune in your 10th zone of career, all around the same date. Highly positive omens for your professional and financial circumstance. Do be a little bit careful, as I've said to some of the other signs, around the 19th, because the Sun and Mars enter into a hard aspect there. That's likely to cause some mishaps. In your case, this is the speculative side of things financially. Don't be too brazen, and don't rely on tips that have no validity behind them. Research and investigate the tips that you're receiving on a financial on a financial note. That third house of communication, contractual arrangements on the 23rd is strongly accentuated by the sun moving there. And we continue to see this Venus influence on your career. It's a very nice influence. So I see some very significant breakthroughs in your professional life, your financial life, in spurts there, but again around the 22nd, 23rd, 24th. You might have a little bit of a problem there around the 25th with Mercury in the difficult aspect to Uranus. So if you're running an independent business, for example, the 11th house has to do with your profits. There could be some abrupt turning around there, maybe the bottom falling out of the profitability of a venture or some idea that you have. But that's only temporary because Mercury is a fast-moving planet. We see that stabilises later on around the 26th. But on the 28th, you could become a little bit too intense, and don't let money get in the road of your relationships at that time. Try to balance your personal life with your financial affairs. I'm looking forward to seeing you here again next month. In the meantime, do join me at astrology.com.au for your more detailed analysis of yourself and your friends, and lots of free psychic readings as well. Take care. Bye-bye.